We live in extraordinary times when the science is advancing very, very rapidly, and we've entered a molecular age in which we really begin to understand the fundamentals of disease, what causes disease, and new pathways for how to treat disease in a highly precise and individualized manner. And that's all terrific, that kind of innovation. The difficulty, though, is that science is advancing very rapidly, but policy tends not to move as quickly. And so we find ourselves with a gap between science and policy. And as a result, the environment for innovation is not as good as it needs to be for individuals and for our overall healthcare system. So a few years ago, Feinstein Kean Healthcare, along with the Personalized Medicine Coalition and the American Association for Cancer Research, came together as co-conveners to start the Turning the Tide Against Cancer initiative. And our purpose is to bring all the constituencies together, to convene a dialogue, if you will, and then to identify pathways, policy solutions that can enable us to bridge that gap between the science and the policy so that we really end up with a better healthcare system that helps all of us. I think since we began the Turning the Tide Against Cancer initiative, we have sought to bring constituencies together in such a way that they could find common ground. Now, we know there are many issues around which different constituencies will disagree, but very often, and I think particularly at this year's conference, we can stake out common ground around the issues and the answers that people do agree on. And from there, I think we can identify policy change that people can really identify with and seek to effect. So the call to action really at the Turning the Tide Against Cancer conference this year is to let's find the common ground, let's agree on policy principles, and let's agree on pathways to policy change that we can all advocate for to make a better healthcare system and, most importantly, to improve value for the individual patient. Feinstein Kean has been helping innovators in the field of healthcare for almost 30 years. So we really understand how different organizations think about these issues because we serve everyone from bench to bedside, the academic researchers, the biotech and pharma developers, the medical providers, the insurers, the patient advocacy groups, and the policy organizations. So using the skills we have, we're able to bring those communities together, we believe, in a constructive dialogue. So we can identify the common ground and we can find the pathways to policy solutions.